So, anybody that knows me knows I like to do these videos just for my own viewing purposes, and it's kind of like a chronological thing. I like to see how I developed through the years, and every now and then I branch off into a specific topic that I like to talk about, such as sports, video games, and music. And honestly, if it isn't one of those topics, I'm probably not interested. Sometimes politics, but it really depends. With that said, I have been studying about Dimebag Darrell, former guitarist for Pantera, and actually, I believe co-founder of Pantera, but I could be wrong. He was a very legendary guitarist, prophetic and great since he was a kid. And he's probably a lifelong musician in the entire sense of the word. And you have specific guys like that who are so dedicated to their instrument. They love to study it and they can't get enough of it. And they almost have their own language that they speak, you know. They almost don't even communicate with the regular world because they're such a phenom with what they're studying. It could be a genius, it could be a rockets engineer, you know, somebody that's very dedicated to their craft. And that was Dimebag. He apparently loved guitar so much that you know, he would mumble and you could hardly understand him sometimes. But you know, you were kind of expected to know what he meant just by, you know, eyeballs and body language and stuff, and because he was so busy grooving. But anyway, yeah, so you got those type of guys that are really much that are about their instruments, and then you have your singers. So you got instrumentals, and then you have singing. None of these things are limited to my scope of knowledge of these topics. It's just I'm talking about what I know. So and I do a lot of streaming on I like the streaming because you don't have to worry about taking up space on your phone, so it's kind of convenient. And then if you want to, you can like save the stream if you don't, you know, if you want to edit it or something like that. So yeah. Dimebag Darrell, man, he was a cool guy. That's my type of music. That's my type of lifelong musician that is so dedicated to his craft that you could back him up and not feel ashamed. You could be like, you know what? This is a motherfucker I can back up. This is a dude I could support, man, because I've had such a big fix with Pantera lately. There's so many things that I love about them. My family is from where Phil is from, so my family is from Louisiana, like half of them. Phil is also Italian, Sicilian, and that's what I am. And he's a singer. He knows how to belt it out. I love to try to belt it out. You know, I always study singing more than anything. I like to sing. That's the type of musician I am, and that's why I'm talking about music. You know, I heard that Vinnie Paul and Darrell, Vinnie Paul and Darrell, two guys, not three. So you got Vinnie Paul, you got Darrell, and they used to love music so much. That's all they wanted to talk about. Like, they didn't want to talk about anything else. They wanted to focus on their music so much. and they were lifers. They were lifers to music. I love that shit. I love that shit. I love when music doesn't mix with pleasure and personal life. And when you keep your drug addictions and your relationships away from your music, that's what I love the most. I love a band that can go in there, jam out, and not get too super personal. Like, you know, write about people that you know, but don't like get so personal that it becomes weird, and then the rest of your band is like having a lobby for you outside of the studio, and you're having to answer questions and questions, and you know, did I offend somebody politically and stuff like that. So when they're kind of like Metallica, I definitely like that type of deal where, you know, they could be like Metallica, but at the same time they could be real heavy and hard hitting with it, that you can back that up as a listener. That heavy enough shit that you can be like, yeah, man, that's my shit right there. Kind of like Avenged Sevenfold. Avenged Sevenfold had some tragedy early on, so they really they had to find it within themselves to continue on, and maybe never be the same and never really recover. It's kind of like taking a hit to your economy, you know, like having like a bank burn down or something like that. You lost your drummer forever. You lost a lot of value to your band. People are showing up for the rev. It's kind of like having Tommy Lee die, you know. And so yeah, they had it hard. But let me do something real quick here. I know I got this stupid cup in the way. This is part of my. This is what I do when I'm streaming. I keep it alive. If you ever go on Periscope, that's also a cool site too, because people are frequently joining, which I might switch over to. I don't know. I think I've talked enough about music. You don't want to go over like 8 minutes, because then people are like, do I just sit here the whole time listening to this? And honestly, I wasn't even talking about that deep into my subject. This stuff goes by fast. You could talk for 10 minutes and it feels like a minute.